strike up the band.
Hey, this is James Devine with the Music Ed Podcast, and today we're going to talk about winning the hearts of the counselors. They hold an important role in your work, and you want to make sure that you win their heart. One of the things to think about is that everybody is pulling them in all kinds of directions, and they often have to do tasks that have nothing to do with the main thing they signed up for, counseling students, just like we sometimes have tasks that we have to do. And also consider that in a large school, especially in a high school where you have a lot of one-off classes, it's very difficult to schedule the classes and try to make it work for everybody. So here's a couple of tips to win their hearts. Number one, be proactive. Turn in your requests early. Make sure that every year, even though you may have told them last year about how certain things don't work, or that jazz concert band is required to be in jazz band, or whatever the case might be, or you have to take intermediate band before you have to take wind ensemble, or that wind ensemble requires an audition. Be proactive every year in moving forth with the things that are important to you. Not the first day of school. Don't try to give them changes that day unless it's something that they missed. Obviously, then you can try to do that. But be proactive. Number two, be flexible with what doesn't matter. For example, for me, in an ideal schedule, I'm going to have beginners meet, and then later in the day, the intermediate will meet, and then later in the day, the advanced will meet. I prefer having that progression like that rather than like advanced, beginner, intermediate. But in the overall scheme of things, that really doesn't matter. And so if I can get that, if in a perfect world, then I'll go for it. But if they come to me and tell me, I know you wanted band 7th period because oftentimes you leave right for an event, but to make it work, we're going to have to put you first period. Then go with that. Be flexible. Number 3, be willing to take extra students. I know this one's a hard one, but be willing to do that. One year at the high school I used to teach at, one year the school was busting. We had tremendous growth. Every teacher complained. Everybody was complaining about class sizes. We really didn't have room to put the kids anywhere. We didn't have enough staffing. Our staffing was based on the previous year, and we had pretty explosive growth. And there's no place to put the kids. The guitar class was capped at 35. I told the counselors, I said, you make all these adjustments for me with band. Don't worry about a cap on guitar class. If you don't know where to put the students, put them in guitar class. I ended up with a class of 63 beginning guitar students. And you know what? It was a very successful class. It worked. I had to adapt and change my teaching style. I had to adapt and change my performance assessments. They became much shorter and more specific because I had to be able to test 63 students. And this is not in any way a lowering of standards, so I hope no one sees it that way. Out of those 63 students, 60 of them had A's in guitar class, 2 had F's, and 1 had a C. The C was one of the ones who started off the year not doing anything, and about halfway through, he's like, I guess I better shape up and do some stuff in this class. The other 2, they absolutely didn't do a thing. They stared at the ceiling and drooled. So be willing to take extra students. Number 4, buy coffee, buy donuts, make someone's day in a small way. You can't make everybody's day, but you can make someone's day. Now, a warning with this one, if you're doing it just to be manipulative, it's not going to work. People are going to see through that. But if from deep in your heart, you appreciate what the counselors are doing and you go out of your way to bring them coffee or donuts or a slice of pizza, if your band is having pizza, whatever it might be, if you go out of your way and it comes from your heart, that's going to be noticed. I hope that you have found these tips to win the hearts of the counselors helpful.
The Music Ed Podcast, where you get quick and easy tips for how to be a better band.